let's turn our attention to this. This was such a great thing. We've been talking about this Minect initiative for weeks now, that PBD, Patrick Bet-David, and his podcast have launched. The app, I think, was created by PBD and his company Valuetainment. Minect is basically an app where you can send an audio or video, I believe, question to an expert of your choice, and they will take the time for a certain fee to answer you. So that is a pretty cool thing. I mean, and there's big names on there. I mean, in this contest that he was doing, there were different weight classes, as he called them. Tulsi Gabbard was in it, a bunch of big names. But specifically in the lightweight division, and I don't know how they figured out those weights, Gary Woods, funding Jim, of PulseChain fame, but also many other things. He's done many amazing things in his life. But him, Rags to Riches, Brandon, and as we've already mentioned, Brother KG of Internet Money Wallet fame, all were featured in this lightweight realm, and all of them did very well throughout the duration of the contest. Now, there were many moments in doubt where, like, Rags was winning for a while, KG was winning for a little while, Gary was winning for a while, and then all of a sudden they'd all three be out of the top five, and it was like, oh, some guy I've never heard of is winning, and it's like, man, maybe it wasn't meant to be. This thing ends now, so the Minect contest run by Patrick Bet-David ends, and Gary Woods wins the thing going away, and Brandon and KG both end up in the top five, not just top five, the top four. Three prominent, not just crypto guys, but PulseChain-centric people that choose to put their time, money, everything into PulseChain win this contest, basically. And Gary Woods wins it overall, which I think is fantastic. Not to say that the other two shouldn't have either, but for Gary's sake, because he offers all these other great things. Not that those other guys don't, but I mean, Gary's just such a great networker and stuff, and he just has so vast life experience, and I'm glad to see him win. I would have been glad to see any of them win. But for them all to do so well, and for one of them to actually win it, so Gary will then be able to meet up again, which he already has before, I believe, but meet up with Patrick Bet-David again, have dinner with him, talk ideas and stuff like that. Clearly, crypto stuff is going to come up there. He's already talked about PulseChain with him, I think, before. Richard Hart, I didn't even realize, actually was on before with, I don't know if it was Adam Sosnick or one of the guys from the podcast. I didn't realize it. I just saw the old stream from a year or two ago the other day. But this is just fantastic. I mean, I think I thought that they wouldn't win. I don't know. I think I was thinking that somebody else would win because I kept, seeing them fall back and stuff. But to see them pull this off is just freaking amazing. And I think it'd do so much for this blockchain and crypto overall. But what do you make of this? Just fantastic that they did this well.
Yeah, I was quite pleased. I was pulling for all of them, obviously, getting 3 of the top 4 places. And the top 3 actually win dinner. I don't think it's just top 1. And so
I think you're right.
Rags and Gary both get to go meet with these guys and put a bug in their ear. And the things are really just, the stars are kind of starting to line up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. And anybody that was expecting all this stuff to happen overnight and get a 50x, and it takes time. It very, very much so. When you build something organically like this, these things take time and things fall into place. And it goes to show what happens when the community gets behind somebody and puts their mind to it. Great things happen. I mean, look at the total votes. They're over 1,200 votes, or 1,200 Minects for those 3 guys alone.
Right.
So it's crazy to see what happens when people put their minds together. So I'm quite pleased. Couldn't be happier for Gary and all 3 of them. Rags too. They'll both get to have dinner with PBD, and hopefully KG gets some honorable mention. And it leads to something. It leads to some contacts and some investors and some people believing in this and being like, wow, this is a pretty great community. They look into it and they see the activity over here that we're, still in this little echo chamber of our own, that people just don't realize that we're here. It takes time. It takes time, and it's happening slowly but surely, but it's coming.
I agree. I've been listening to PBD here and there the last couple of days just to see if he went over the results and stuff. I haven't heard him do it yet, but I mean, I also haven't listened to the whole podcast or anything like that. But yeah, this is just awesome. It'll be cool to see what comes of it. You know, PBD is obviously a guy with many, many resources, and you know, to instill trust in him, have a couple of huge crypto guys with him that have PulseChain front and center like that, I think is just going to be great. We've already seen, you know, Gary, B Roots, all these people allegedly potentially talk. Paul B Roots claims to have told Trump that he should launch his next Trump NFTs on PulseChain and stuff like that. So we have seen these guys in big rooms with big people talking about PulseChain. So it's just awesome. I mean, these are the people doing the real work. We always shout out Corey and Dane, of course, too, with all their real estate buddies and them, you know, paying to go to events and talk PulseChain and everything. It's just so awesome that we have these advocates out here. And you know, you don't really see things like this in a lot of other blockchains. It's just not, you know, grassroots like this one is as much, you know, so just awesome right now. So, all right. So we'll continue to pay attention to that story, and I'm sure we're going to see what comes of it and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll see stuff from, you know, when the dinner happens with PBD and all that stuff. So it'll be cool to keep following up on that.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll live stream it too, or at least, you know,
dinner?
clip it. Maybe not live stream it, but they'll have clips. Gary's very good at putting clips together of
that's true
of his escapades and the things that they participate in, and usually put something together, a nice little video of what they're doing. So I've seen the ones from him in Miami. I've seen the ones when they did the yachts and when they rented the yachts, and so yeah, I'm sure we'll see some of the highlights from it at least.